I forgot to add information about my subwoofer. So this is one that I've built. I designed it around the Dayton Audio RSS 390HE, which is no longer produced. I think they have a reference one and the high output, the high excursion, no longer made. I think this is a much nicer driver than the Ultimax 18s that they've got. Using the TS parameters from this and measured data, I designed and built two of them. So the cabinet design is based off the acoustic modelling, which I did using WinISD and a few other tools. I had help from some wise and experienced people on AVS forums who provided me some invaluable help. The ported design was built based off the outputs from the modelling, and I would suggest that the weight of this is probably greater than the fridge that it seems to look like, because of the amount of internal bracing and reinforcement and the port design. It weighs a lot. It was my first attempt at veneering, so woodworking and joinery is not new to me, but using engineered materials like ply and MDF, I think that it's possible to have a degree of precision as a planned aspect of your work that is pretty amazing. And that's a little different than working with traditional lumber, I think, where you sometimes have to, or most of the time, you have to finesse your work to get it to give you the fine fit that you want. So this was a bit of a new area for me with the type of woodworking experience I had, and veneering, my first effort as well. So I used the iron-on method for doing this with a PVA glue, put it on, let it set, and then lay this on and iron it so that it reactivates the glue and it goes on nicely. And I thought that was a more manageable technique for me than trying to use a contact cement where it's one shot and you're done. The baffle on the front here is actually fixed from the rear. The way that I designed this is that it's a sealed cabinet without this front baffle. And what I did was I did all the veneering and finishing of that aspect, and then the baffle was done separately. So there's 5 layers for the front, 3 here, and then 2 internally that provide the support for the driver. I used inset here are in the back of it are T-nuts. T-nuts? Threaded inserts, not T-nuts. And those have precisely lined up holes in the rigidly fixed baffles here. So once I'd completed this, I was able to, with the driver out, reach in, put bolts in to all of those locations. There's about 16 of them through the whole thing, and that fixed it onto the front, and then you could put the driver in. That way I've got no points of fixation on the front here, but was still able to have the shape and slight standoff or shadow line that I wanted with the front baffle and the main cabinet. So it turned out very nice. This is an eggshell paint. It's a sub-brand of Dulux. I can't remember. For those that don't know, I'm in Australia, so the brands that I've got access to might be different to what a lot of you use internationally. Cool, that's the end of it.